Howdy race fans, welcome to my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits with me, Stock Car Scott. And as always, In the Pits is brought to you each week when I feel like it by Monte Carlo Express Delivery. Monte Carlo Express Delivery has been servicing the courier needs of the Puget Sound area for over a decade now. So please like us on Facebook. Racing started this past week on Wednesday night with the Camping World Truck Series at Tony Stewart's half mile of mud called Eldora in Rossburg, Ohio. The feature was on Fox Sports 1 along with the last chance qualifying race where the grandson of Bill France Jr. transferred into the main. The heat races were unfortunately on that there Phantom Sports 2, and y'all know how I feel about that, so I will refrain from beating that dead horse. The trucks had a fun little 150-lap race broken down into 3 segments. The stars of the evening turned out to be a couple of young dirt track hired guns in Chris Bell driving for the Toads KB Motorsports and Bobby Pierce in the Midler Brothers number 63 Silverado. That's the number 63 Silverado that local driver Tyler Tanner of Auburn works on, and where Tanner will see some seat time in the future. I don't want to jinx anything, but I've been told he'll get the starting park for their team some more this year, and also he will get to race some more this season in the main number 63 truck, including a big race this fall. But back to Bobby Pierce. With his second place finish, he has put the number 63 MB Motorsports team on the map. Before Wednesday, only dirt racing fans knew about Bobby Pierce. Now everyone in NASCAR knows him. Thursday, there were 3 different Loudon races on NBCSN, and it must have been because it was a slow day at the Tour de France. 2 of the races were modifieds, which are a big deal in the Northeast, and the other race was a K&N Pro East Series race. I think 70 laps there on Loudon's Magic Mile. NBCSN is doing a very good job in showing the feeder series races, but I still wish that NBCSN had the Xfinity race replays, or maybe replays of all the races on Xfinity on demand. That would really be a great selling point for them, but that's just another dead horse I need to not beat on so much. Anyway, Friday, there was a really good ARCA race at the Lucas Raceway at Indianapolis. You may know the little short track there by its old name of Indy Race Park, or IRP. The race was won by a first-time ARCA starter by the name of Travis Braden from West Virginia. His car was even sponsored by the University of West Virginia. I barely made it home myself in time for the 6 o'clock race, having started my race in Redmond before 4:30 in the afternoon, Friday afternoon traffic. My favorite ARCA driver, Grant Enfinger, finished that race 8th and still leads the overall driver points for ARCA. The next ARCA event is this Saturday in Pocono, Pennsylvania. And if you have Fox Sports 2, you can watch it live. Enjoy there, Thomas. I hope you enjoy the race. Then after ARCA, the ARCA race, you can switch, if you can, over to Fox Sports 1, where they will be having the Camping World Truck Series race at the Tricky Triangle. 2 races at Pocono that day. I think I heard something maybe that Dale Jr. will be driving his team's truck there that usually Cole Custer drives, and that would really be sweet. Anyway, Saturday was day 1 of the Toad Takes the Brickyard. I hardly want to talk about it, as you can see, but that would be a big disservice to young Ryan Blaney, who came within a mile of winning the race on Saturday. one slip up by the driver of the Penske Mustang allowed the toad to slither on by, and in the second half of that last lap on the 2.5 mile Brickyard track. So young Blaney was devastated, but he took the high road, only commenting on his own lack of ability, not the obvious moving chicane of a lap car of Derek Cope that was out there. Yeah, I said it. I'm pointing the finger. Maybe it is time for Derek to hang it up. Well, along with that, you know, along with that and the toad being victorious, really put the race in a negative light for me. Better days are coming, hopefully. So after the next Xfinity race is a standalone race this Saturday evening in Iowa. Chances are good that the field won't have any or many Sprint Cup drivers, with the Cup being held in Pocono this weekend. So this gives a chance for the Xfinity regulars to shine. Maybe we'll even get a point shake-up to go along with the race. But I will have to record it on Saturday night because I will be returning to South Sound Speedway for the limited late model street stock 75 lap Rumble in Rochester, along with mini stocks, hobby stocks, and 4-banger late models. So it should be fun, but I will have to remember, I'll put a list or something to record the Xfinity race, because it really seems that NBC does not want to do replays. So right after the Toad's umpteenth Xfinity victory of his career there, I headed on down South Sound Speedway for the twin 50-lap super late model features there. Number 17 of Bob Presley won both features. It is really good to see him no longer be the Cal Norton Jr. of South Sound Speedway. Number 3, Luke Selican, was there and ran second in the second race, and even led some in that main. Molly Helmuth Racing was really pleased with her top 5 and is looking forward to the big Miller 200 there at South Sound Speedway in a couple of weeks, as am I. But again, most of the fun for the evening was just hanging out with my friend Mike Easley and hearing some of the stories of racing days gone by and insights into some of today's local talent. He's a great guy. Now, my main interest, as you can tell from the race videos that I post on YouTube, well, my interest leaned heavily to late models, whether it be super, limited, or 4-bangers, and also stock rides like street stocks, hobby stocks, mini stocks. But I watch, you know, but don't usually follow or record the legends. But, you know, I heard some news this weekend. It sounds like that might change here in the near future coming up. I saw an old favorite driver there, a friend of mine, tells me that he is just about ready to make the jump back into racing with the Legend Series. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, but if it happens, you might see some Legend videos on my YouTube channel and hear me cheering, "Ah, yee!" Yes, it was a fun night of racing there at South Sound Speedway, and I got some shout outs to get out there. Of course, first off to Mike and Marilyn. They're a great couple, and glad to call them my friends. Butch, Tommy, Molly, Jana, Leanne, Rod, Rich, Mike, Bob, Kevin, Luke. Shout outs to all of you folks. And also big shout out goes to all the South Sound crew. They always make it good racing there whenever I go. Especially the announcer last Saturday night. Chris, I do believe it was, who gave me, Stock Car Scott, a big shout out on the PA system in between races. But a word of warning, I might get the big head, you know, but as heady as celebrity could be, I was brought right back to earth with Sunday's racing. I tell you, first it was the Hungarian Grand Prix, and all of the drivers got together at the beginning to salute their fallen comrade, Jules Bianchi, who succumbed Tuesday before last to the injuries that he suffered in last year's Japanese Grand Prix. Then after that, the race got started, but it just got weird. I don't know how else to describe it. Lewis Hamilton was on the pole with his teammate, what's his name, next to him. Nothing weird about that. But then there was a false start because Felipe Massa got out of place on the starting grid. So the field ran a lap around, and Massa got in trouble. But when the 5 lights were extinguished, things really got weird fast. It was like Hamilton was bolted to the asphalt. He didn't get going on go, and before one could blink, both Ferraris were around him and his teammate, what's-his-face. But when Lewis did finally get going, it was like he was dragging around an anchor or something, and he dropped precipitously until he was running back with the also-rans. But he was able, through his talent and through attrition in the field with people wrecking and everything, to work his way back up to finish in the points. But his streak of podium finishes has ended at 16. His teammate also had problems when he got his tire cut by Ricciardo. And so Lewis still leads the points, but that was in jeopardy even during the race. So, who won if it wasn't Hamilton? 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, putting the Scuderia back up on top of the podium where the legendary race team belongs, with his first win at the Hungaroring and his second win of the season. The next F1 race isn't for a month because F1 enforces a summer break where the teams are forbidden to work on their cars or test. It must be vacation time. So the next Grand Prix is the 23rd of August in Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps. Okay, after a quick nap Sunday morning, it was time for the Brickyard. Or did I sleep through the race and suffer a horrible nightmare? Either way, it was a big downer of an afternoon. As you may have heard by now, the Toad won for a Brickyard sweep. Dale Jr. didn't have a very good race. I think he finished like 22nd, so enough of that. You know, weekend's behind us. The chase grid didn't change at all because that slimy Toad stole somebody else's ticket to postseason. Next race is at Pocono this weekend, where Dale Jr. won both races last season, and hopefully he can add another win to his total wins this season. That is, if it doesn't rain there at Pocono. After the Toad Yard, I watched another dog on Sci-Fi Channel because it had a NASCAR tie-in. Yes, Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no! With Joker Logano and Bad Brad Keselowski. And, oh yes, Sharks in Daytona. My review, it bites a lot. So, should you spend 2 hours watching Sharknado 3? Oh, hell no. Okay, let's get back on track with racing locally coming this weekend that I can suggest to you to watch at South Sound. Like I said before, Saturday night is 75 laps for limited late models in the Rumble in Rochester. But there's also racing in Evergreen. Sounds like some pretty good racing there in Monroe for both Saturday and Sunday, with wing sprint cars racing along with super late models and other divisions. First Saturday night on the 3/8 mile track, and then Sunday on the big 5/8 mile track with wing cars again, and 50 laps of late models on the big track. So I might even have to go out and see that myself. Also, Yakima is having a super stock challenge, which, if I remember correctly, their super stocks are like hobby stocks, along with they're also having Hornets, mini stocks, and the good old Bash to Pass. Also, let's see, you know, with all this going on, it could be a busy weekend there for local racing for us to look forward to. Okay, and with that much racing going on, you should go see some stock car racing or some wing race cars there, because those guys are going to go faster around Evergreen than anybody does. And go see some races this weekend. Go take a friend with you. Get them hooked on the racing bug there. Or you could go out to the lake this weekend and get a sunburn watching the boat races. But you know where I will be. You know what I will be watching. Because I'm not Powerboat Peter or Hydro Harold. No, I am Stock Car Scott, and this is In the Pits. And I thank you very much for watching. See you next week, folks. Thank you again for watching.